This is KWS. We build race bikes, we build motors, we build all kinds of stuff. Michael and I are the only two full-time employees of the race team, but we have two full-time jobs. We work on the race team full-time, and we work on the shop full-time.
We just got back from Daytona, and we got a lot of race stuff to do, but we have to also get caught up on some of our customer stuff because we are not only a race team shop, but a customer shop. So that's our primary business. That's where we make our money. That's what keeps us racing.
Michael's working on a 2008 R6. A customer brought it to us as a brand spanking new motorcycle. 0 miles on it.
We did a full super sport build. AMA, we were illegal, within the rules. We were able to, try to push the limits and also make it somewhat reliable because this is primarily a club bike and we're doing a complete race build. So we're safety wiring everything, putting all the necessary parts that need to be on here for racing. The aluminum case covers for crash resistance, adjustable foot pegs.
This was a brand spanking new motorcycle. We took it completely apart, down to the bare frame, reassembling it back up, making sure everything is perfect for racing, replacing the suspension components, brake lines, built motor, electronics, case covers, rear sets, clip-ons. They're not installed yet. These are stock ones. Michael's in the process of building it. We do this for a lot of customers who have the money and don't have the time to build a quality race bike, and we provide this service, and that way they can show up here, supply us with a brand new motorcycle, show up here, say 4 weeks later, and pick up a fully built, we're a championship winning race bike. That's exactly what this one should be. Kevin's the master. This is where all the R&D is done. Kevin is the heart and soul of this business, and the race team for that matter. Everything starts right here. Everything after that is just accessories.
We run the valve open, 40 thousandths or 1 millimeter. The opening number was 22.5. We came past top dead center and all the way down to the bottom. That's where we pick up the 180 degrees in this small equation we're going to use. We use intake opening plus 180 plus intake closing. This total number happens to be 250. 22.5 plus 180 plus 47.5 is 250. That number is divided by 2, and you subtract on the intake cam, you subtract the opening number, which is 22.5. This particular set of numbers yields a lobe center of 102.5. That basically concludes the whole thing. I'm literally ready to bolt the valve cover back on, put this motor back in the frame, and take it to the dyno now.
This is probably the most used dyno on the East Coast, if not the country. It's not pretty, but it's a tool, and we use it constantly. All of our R&D is done on this. There's basically 4 levels of importance when you're building a motor. Your initial setup R&D in the flow bench, your setup numbers, what you find on the dyno, and then ultimately what it does on the track. The first 3 really don't mean anything. They're smoke and mirrors. It only matters what happens when it's on the track, but the dyno is a good tool to be able to use as a diagnostic tool and as a testing tool to give you an indicator of what something's going to do. It's by far not the be-all and end-all, and every single dyno is different. They're only relative to themselves. The peak number, the number compared to another dyno, it doesn't matter. The only real number I can give you is if you bring in a bike that makes X amount of horsepower, you spend a certain amount of money, and then it makes Y amount of horsepower, that difference is the only real number that matters on the same dyno. The majority of the stuff we do is engine build stuff. We do a whole lot of Busa stuff, This cabinet's all Hayabusa big bore kits. They're OEM cylinders that we've sent off to Millennium Technologies, which is also the title sponsor of our race team, to be bored and re-Nickel plated. The Hayabusa is fairly unique that the cylinder is a separate unit from the cases. This area is the bore. It's taken out a certain amount. This one's taken out plus 3 millimeters, and then this coating is redone. It's Nickel coating. It's a very specialized process, and Millennium is by far the best in the country to do them. Up on top is all camshafts, various different grinds for different applications. We also do custom grinds, all with webcam. Yoshimura cams, sell a lot of those, particularly 05, 06 GSX-R 1000s, 07, 08 GSX-R 1000s. The Yosh Stage R cams are really good for those applications. Over here is Carrillo rods. The only performance advantage is these are lighter than the stock rod, typically around 40 grams lighter, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you move these things at between 11 and 16,000 RPM, 40 grams turns into a lot of weight. The big advantage though is that they're infinitely stronger. Stroker cranks that we keep on the shelf, primarily for Hayabusas and GSX-R 1000s. We keep entire cases already bored and plated, ready to be exchanged. Got some custom pit bull stands sitting here that we just had made for the race team. Pitbull's a big sponsor, big supporter of the team, have been for almost 7 years now. We couldn't do it without those guys. They really help us out, and they make some really nice stuff. We basically take our best head, digitize it, and then replicate it over and over again.
Now porting, shaping and porting is about getting as much air in as possible. You got an extremely nice port shape and fill the chamber really good. Have a crappy valve job, and all you're pushing the air right back. It's like a beaver dam with a hole in it, and it gets worse and worse and worse. There's no beaver to repair this, it just gets worse. With using a tool like this, your accuracy is better, your concentricity is better, the finished product is so much more precise, and the bottom line is the bike makes more power and will do so for a longer period of time with less problems. Those are all good things. That it's a little bit more expensive, but not much, because our production time, the machine is quickly is over and the process is done fast, so our production time is actually quicker, and the assembly time after it's done is so much quicker. We have less labor cost involved, so the machine's actually doing a better job for less money.
We have our cam doctor, again another new piece of equipment that we're using. This allows us to accurately measure cams and come up with different cam designs for engines. It also allows us to accurately measure cam wear, which is something that's traditionally very hard to measure in the past. And that's basically it. That's the shop. Not very large, not very impressive, but it's functional. It allows us to do the stuff that we do and build some cool bikes.
And sorg is sitt, mag i self